was able to, or it was part of the whole deal with Egypt, and there's nothing that it can do to try and expedite a solution here.
Well, Senator John Kerry, who's very influential in domestic politics, sometimes he speaks for the administration and when they feel that they can't speak for themselves. I've been told by administration officials that's not the case now, but he's actually laid out a series of steps that he wants to see the United States take. Impose new sanctions on Libya, work with the UN to impose additional sanctions, come up with a package of humanitarian aid. He said he'd like to see that, and he wants to send a message not to Gaddafi. He said Gaddafi is done, pretty much. He wants to see that regime change. He said he wants to send a message to the military commanders, telling them that if they continue, they could face war crimes trials. So that is the steps that he wants the administration to take. So far, though, the administration says, we've done what we're going to do. We're working with the UN. Our first priority is getting our own people out.
All right, Patty, for the time being, thanks very much. Patty Culhane speaking to us from the White House. Let's expand our focus now, if you like, to South America. In the last few moments, AlJazeera has confirmed that Peru has now broken diplomatic relations with Libya. You can add that voice to some other reactions coming out of Latin America. The Chilean government released a statement saying it expresses its extreme concern for the evolution of the political situation and the use of force in Libya. Similarly, the Brazilian government urges the Libyan authorities to take measures so as to preserve the security and the free circulation of foreigners in the country. Brazil has billions of dollars invested in Libya. And in a telephone call to Gaddafi, Nicaragua's President Daniel Ortega, a longtime ally of Gaddafi, expressed his solidarity, saying the Libyan leader is, quote, again waging a great battle to defend the unity of his nation. Ortega added, it's at difficult times that loyalty and resolve are put to the test. Well, Venezuela's President Hugo Chavez, who's among Gaddafi's closest allies, is yet to comment. Let's throw all this into the mix. Speak to our Latin America editor, Lucia Newman, currently in Port-au-Prince in Haiti, but been casting an eye over all these events as they've been transpiring. Lucia, all very interesting, isn't it? It seems that, for the time being at least, Nicaragua is a lone voice in Latin America.
Very much so at this moment. In fact, it's also very interesting that Peru has decided to take the lead in breaking off diplomatic ties with Libya. There really aren't very many ties between both countries, other than the fact that Peru and Libya and many other Latin American countries are members of the non-aligned movement. But clearly, President Alan Garcia wants to send a very, very strong message that at least many countries in South America condemn what is going on right now in Libya. And as you mentioned yourself, we haven't heard anything directly in defense of Colonel Gaddafi from one of his closest allies in the region, and that is President Hugo Chavez of Venezuela, who was there just last October, calling him a valiant gladiator and a revolutionary. But right now, the only thing that Venezuela is saying is that it hopes that the people, and he's saying the people, not the government or the leader of Libya, can find a solution to the troubles that are going on that will respect the integrity of the Libyan people. So very interesting times. Yeah,
pretty much sitting on the fence there, Hugo Chavez. What do you read into that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
Yeah, just saying that President Chavez pretty much sitting on the fence there over this whole affair in Libya. What do you read into that?
Exactly. I think that everyone is waiting to see what is really going on. It's very difficult, no matter how close they have been in the past, to come out in defense of what is happening in Libya, particularly as even the former Cuban president, Fidel Castro, says they don't really know with certainty what is going on in that country. And these are countries, left-wing governments that have been allies of Libya, but which also were very, very quick to applaud the uprisings in Tunisia, in Egypt, all that's happening in the Arab world right now, and they simply feel, I'm sure, that they cannot come out in defense of what is happening in Libya right now. And so they are really very much playing a wait-and-see game.
Just before we let you go, Lucia, I just want to bring up Cuba, because there's an interesting position coming from the former leader there, Fidel Castro.
Well, yes, he is saying that he said, and this, I'm quoting him exactly, he says, no matter what you think of Gaddafi, we have to wait and see if what is being said is true or false. Very ambiguous there. The only thing he did say very clearly, he said, I am sure, and I am quoting Fidel Castro, that the United States will be trying to push NATO into invading that country at any moment. course, he is giving no evidence as to why that should happen at any moment, but clearly he believes that the United States has a vested interest in resolving the situation in Libya in order to keep the price of oil down. That is according to his latest reflections.
All right, Lucia, leave it there for the moment. Thanks very much indeed. Lucia Newman reporting from Port-au-Prince. Okay, that's about it from us in Washington. There'll be more later, you can be sure, but for now it's back to Doreen in Doha.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. Well, earlier, what we did here in Doha is that we spoke to Nasser Amir, who's a Libyan pilot who escaped to Switzerland, in fact, and he spoke to us from Zurich and said that he unknowingly carried non-Libyan mercenaries to his home city of Benghazi. Listen to what he said.
To orders, and it's coming from the guy. He's the head of the both Libyan airline and Africa airline. His name is Captain Sabri Shadi. He's the right hand of Gaddafi on the aviation side. They asked us to fly to Labrak. This is the El Beira city, maybe you know. The Minister of the Justice, he was talking to AlJazeera. I heard him from this city. So the airport called Labrak. We left to Labrak. We brought some of these missionaries, and actually they were all Africans. And I have seen them because they was sitting in the cockpit door and looking to the faces. And I've seen that they are not Libyans at all. They are from the dress of Tawarik, the dress of Mauritania, and some of them, I think they are not Libyan because they know the Sabha, the people, the black people from Libya, the Sabha people know them how they look. So they were from the Niger, and none of them speaks Arabic. They didn't say a word. So they came with us because they were fleeing, they were escaping from Labrak airport, and I say, this is really, I am proud of what the people of Labrak have done to those people. They actually make them flee. The head of the airbase, and he came to us and he was talking to the captain. He said, "Captain, please talk to those guys, take these guys and take them anywhere. Tripoli, Sabha, Benghazi, don't let them here because they are going to kill them. There is no safe place in the Green Mountain, only this airbase." And then the captain, he took the case seriously, and when the boat immediately he taxied out and he took off like an emergency. He wanted to take them to Tripoli. The captain actually, he wanted to take them to Tripoli or Sabha. Unfortunately, he did not have enough fuel, so he had to land in Benghazi for refueling. And then he heard from the chief de cabine, the purser, you know, the one who is responsible for the cabin crew, that the people, they want to disembark in Benghazi. And he said to him, call me the man in charge. And then the man, he came in charge to the cockpit and he was listening. The captain said to him, "Listen, you're supposed to go to Tripoli, you're supposed not to come in Benghazi." He said, "No, we are coming here to kill these people. This is our job. We are leaving this airplane now and we are going to Benghazi." Actually, it was really a bad feeling from myself. I can see Benghazi in front of me, my city, and they are going to kill my people. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything, or neither the captain or the crew.
You were just listening to a pilot who unknowingly flew in mercenaries into Libya on Al Afriqiya Airlines. But for now, we can